Is our destiny. Trinity is the truth. Jeff Kimmer, release your code. The end is coming. The man was tackled by security and dragged into the hallway. People's shock at the disruption turned into snickering after the man was subdued. The host on stage shook his head and apologized before continuing. The rest of the interview went smoothly. Questions about what the future might look like as AI became more sophisticated. Jeff Kim dropping hints at new breakthroughs. The audience ate it up, and the session ended with a standing ovation and thunderous applause that filled the convention hall. Colt remained seated, pulling out the phone that had just buzzed in his pocket. His coworker looked down at him, Colt's face lit by the screen. "I thought you weren't getting a signal." "Must have squeaked through." Colt shrugged. "Hey, I gotta run. I'll try to catch you later." Colt could still hear the clapping as he pushed through the swinging door in the back of the room. He walked at a brisk pace, picking up his phone to double-check the message. Marisha Stepanova, senior lieutenant of the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, SVR, had just arrived at his hotel. Chapter 2. Outside the conference hall, Colt passed a group of police officers questioning the handcuffed protester who had burst into the auditorium. He rode the escalator down to the first floor of the Seattle Westin, scanning the vast hotel bar area. Comfortable couches and spacious lounge chairs under 30-foot ceilings. Waiters in suits carrying expensive cocktails and appetizers. Patrons happy to wind down after a busy day of conference lectures and business meetings. In the center of the room stood a horseshoe-shaped bar with brightly backlit liquor shelves, a handful of TVs each tuned to a different sporting event. Most of the people sipping drinks were conference attendees, engineers, marketers, and salesmen hawking their newest product or service. Some were bloggers or industry journalists trying to get the scoop on the next big thing. Many at the bar were in town to do business with one of the city's thriving corporations. Creative ad agencies, suppliers, and manufacturers came to Seattle daily from around the world. Tech and commerce had transformed the city seemingly overnight. But scattered among the jungle of programmers and branding experts, AI engineers, and venture capitalists was an altogether different species. The spy. Colt knew that within this room, more than a few intelligence officers from around the world were present. They would be posing as other jungle animals, salesmen or journalists or marketers or investment bankers. Any cover legend that could help them blend into the wilderness of tech and allow them to creep up on unsuspecting prey. Colt sat down at the bar, scanning the room for anything or anyone out of place. He searched for his agent's face among the crowd, knowing she shouldn't be here but checking just to be sure. This meeting was too important, the conference too well attended to risk being seen together. As one of the CIA's elite non-official cover operatives, Colt McShane had been ushered away from any official U.S. government business as soon as he finished his training at the farm a decade earlier. Since then, Colt had been operating almost completely alone, reporting only to his CIA handler, Ed Wilcox, now the agency's station chief in Vancouver. Everyone else who had graduated from Colt's CIA training class had gone on to become operations officers in the clandestine service. These men and women lived and worked in U.S. embassies and consulates overseas. They held official government covers, like agricultural advisor or economic attaché. The blander, the better. If they got caught spying, countries like Russia or China would usually expel them back to the United States, who would repay the favor by expelling a proportionate number of diplomats. The rules of the game were clear, and, in a way, gentlemanly. But non-official cover operatives like Colt had no such protections. If he was identified by a foreign intelligence service, there were no rules, so it was crucially important he not get caught. His cover had to be airtight, and he had spent years working in the world of corporate finance, carefully cultivating a cover legend with minimal agency contact, choosing the time, location, and manner of his agent debriefs with painstaking attention to detail. Meetings like tonight were the test to how well that cover held. Colt motioned to the bartender, who nodded in his direction. "What can I get you?" "Actually, my wife was here earlier and put my tab on the wrong room number. Redhead? White coat? She said she ordered a glass of Malbec." "Sure. She was here just a few minutes ago. She asked me to double-check that it was on the right room."